Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be working on this this cedar that a client brought into the workshop. And if you haven't worked with cedars or you're not familiar with it, this is a brevifolia, and it has very, very short needles. So Cedrus atlantica brevifolia. There's a number of named varieties, but in the end, from the perspective of styling a bonsai, it's not super important which one this is. So we're going to go through, do some trimming and wiring, and make this look a little bit more like a bonsai today. The first thing I'm going to do is just go through and remove a bunch of shoots and whatnot that are obviously not going to be part of the finished composition, but I'm, in doing this, going to leave my options open as much as possible. So I'm not going to cut off all the long shoots just in case I decide that I want to make this tree bigger, or heading in one direction more, or something like that. But anything that's growing down or that is obviously not going to work with the composition, I'm going to go ahead and take off now so that I have more room to work. I've gone through and eliminated a bunch of the undergrowth and kind of familiarized myself with the structure at this point. So just like any standard wiring, I'm going to go through and basically take a look at which branches need to be moved around and start at the bottom, because in this design I'm going to mostly be bringing branches down. So if I start at the top and bring branches down, then those branches are hitting the branches below. So I'll start at the bottom, bring branches down, and start setting the structure of the tree. I previously wired this tree a couple of years ago, and whenever you're working on dwarf, like a true dwarf like this, you should be very cautious about pruning until you're sure that you're utilizing as best you can all of the foliage that the tree has created, because dwarf cultivars might only grow 1 or 2 inches a year. And so by cutting off a branch without completely sort of considering all the possibilities that that branch could provide is shortchanging yourself in terms of the bonsai process. All right, well, I changed up the angle just slightly using these 2 pieces of wood and basically did a complete styling of this. One of the things that I did that I think is a little bit unusual, at least for me, is to basically increase the height of the tree. And I decided that I didn't want the crown to be quite as low as it was because the trunk line just seemed a little bit too simple to me. So I bent this section up using a larger wire and then created the crown out of this large branch that had grown. So that'll give it a few more tiers of branches as it moves into maturity. And you can see that the branching on the lower section already looks 1 step more mature than what's going on with the top, because this is the second time it's been wired and pruned as a bonsai. So pretty happy with the result here, and I hope the owner's as happy as I am. But this is a really nice, fun little tree. It almost reminds me of an azo spruce. The branches are not quite as flexible, but the needles look very similar. Obviously, this being a cedar, the pattern is slightly different than with azo spruce, but the needles look almost identical. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.